Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Let's go. Thoughts can keep you down, pushing deep until you drown, or they can keep you up strong, focused on the now. Glass half full, or has it been emptied out? Well, that's all up to you and your mind. Do you doubt anything, everything, not a thing? Make my thoughts work for me, manifest what I need, what I want, what I see. I could be anything, I attract all the things that I see. I believe I'll achieve as I breathe in and out again and again. I don't doubt, I sit and I plan, and I found out that I can execute if I'm driven, if I listen, if I learn all the wisdom. Read some books, something written, watch the best. Teach a system I invest, never hidden, I ain't scared. Ain't no chicken, I take dares. I'll be winning, you get back what you're giving. Find the reason that you're living, what you're good at, all your gifts and what you love. Take a risk and find out what you've been missing. Yeah. Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Your will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. How is everyone doing? Happy Monday after Thanksgiving. Let me get over here to my camera. Hey, everybody. What's going on? My name is Dutchess, and this is Dutchess Discussions, where we talk about true crime and missing cases. And today we've got a show for you. We're going to be talking about a couple of different missing cases. But first, we're going to go over here to the chat and say hey to the members and the subscribers. I really appreciate y'all being here with me. Thank you so much for joining me. So let's go back up in the chat. Hey, Cherokee Raider, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Hey, Hurricane Camille. Hey, Michelle. So glad to see you here, Michelle. I've got to give I reminded myself, Michelle, see? I reminded myself with my ADD and everything. I reminded myself. Okay, Michelle. All right. And hey, there's Behind the Crimes with Michelle Sutton. She is going to be my special guest tonight. Thank you so much, Michelle, for being willing to come on panel last minute. We were just talked about, maybe collabing on something. And I was like, I'm going to give her a call. I really want to talk with her about this case because we're in some similar groups and we've been kind of chatting and we feel kind of a lot of the different things that are going on. So I think it's going to be a great conversation tonight. So I'm so excited for Michelle to come up here in just a little bit and talk to us about all the things Aspen Jeter from Orangeburg, South Carolina. Hey, Mamita. I'm so sorry, darling, that you're not feeling good. I'm praying for you. Y'all put some prayer hands and hearts in the chat for Sluggy and for Mamita. My two guests that weren't able to be here tonight, they have things going on. So we all be thinking of them. I know, darling. I love you. I love you so much. Hey, Moni. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad to see you. Hey, little G. Thank you so much for being here. Amethyst Noir. I love that name. Hello. Thank you for being here. You sure are beautiful. Hey, Missy Nor. It's always good to see you, Sweet D. Thank you for being here. She was the first one in chat tonight, y'all. Nana 5, hey, thank you for being here, Nana. We are keeping you and Cece in our prayers. And I just want to say that, Mamita, I have that clip that I need to give you. But Nana, Mamita, she put out this beautiful thing about you last night. And I hope that you saw it because it really touched my heart. And I just want you to know that we are keeping you and Cece in our prayers. So just please know that we love you so much. Hugs, hugs, hugs. Let's see who else we got in the house. Thank you guys for the hearts and prayer hands. Thank you. Hello, Nico. I'm glad to see you. I think I saw you on somebody's panel last night. Did I? Did I see you on Dave's panel? Hey, Jaded. How you doing, darling? Hey, Roger. How are you doing, Roger? I hope you're doing good. I've been thinking about you. Please let me know that you're okay, that you've been doing okay in chat. Emery against evil. Nice to see you. I don't think I've ever seen you before. Thank you for being here. Okay, so how is everyone doing? Did everyone have a great Thanksgiving? Did you guys eat too much? Because I know that I did. We had deep fried prime rib. The Duke made deep fried prime rib in the turkey fryer because that's how we do here in South Carolina, and it was delish. It was excellent. Yes, it's so nice to meet you too. Thank you so much for being here. This is going to be a wonderful conversation. Hey, Casey K, and I don't know why are you not showing up as a moderator? Are you showing up as a moderator, Casey? Okay, there you are. Okay, I think I undid it, but then I did it. Roger, have you been sick too? I think we've all been sick. Yeah, I call it the YouTube flu. It seems like all of all of us have the same thing. It must be going through the Wi-Fi. Well, I'm gonna keep you in my prayers, Roger. Nonetheless, you're from South Carolina too, Moni. Well, girl, you just in the family then. Hey, Crystal Boland, thank you for being here. Well, I'm so glad that you're here. And if you're not subscribed, in order to chat, you do need to be subscribed tonight. We do have a few house rules. Just because when I do live streams and talk about cases, there just has to be a precedent that we keep in chat. I do want to make sure that I say this before we get started on any of the conversations. I deal in facts. I like to put out facts about the case. I don't like to put out misinformation, which is why I like to, if I see something out there, I like to ask people, hey, we need to vet this information. So I don't want to see a lot of misinformation in chat. I know there's a lot of rumors going around about things that may have happened in this case that we're going to talk about with Aspen Jeter, but we're really just waiting for law enforcement to give a press conference to talk to us more about the circumstances of Crystal Jumper in this case. And law enforcement can handle that. That's not why we're here. We're here to help find this missing child, Aspen Jeter. That is the precedent of this live, is to circulate this missing flyer and to get out all of the factual information that we do know. And we also want to keep it respectful for the Jeter family and for the Jumper family. So we would appreciate it if everyone could please be respectful. If you have personal grievances with people in the chat, I just ask that you handle those personal grievances in private and not in my chat room. If you continue to argue or bicker back and forth, I'll have to have my moderators remove you because it distracts me from talking about this case and staying on track. And I have ADHD, and I'm not going to sit around and watch y'all fight in the chat about something that doesn't even involve me. So I don't want to see anyone getting attacked. If you guys can agree to disagree, we're all adults. We're all adults. We're not here to try to hurt anyone or to put any, misinformation out there. And so I just like to keep that clear because I'm here to advocate for the families, and I'm here to advocate for this child who cannot speak for herself. And I'm not here for any other reason. So, I appreciate you guys respecting that. So let's go back over to the chat before we get started to make sure we don't have any questions. Casey, I know you've been sick too, darling. I've been praying for you. Jaded says her whole town is sick. Oh my goodness. Y'all pray for these sick people. I mean, I've had the flu. It's taken me a while to get over. I just finished up a round of antibiotics on Sunday, and thank goodness I got my voice back. And please go over, if you have not already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, and please like this video and share this video out so that we can get these missing posters circulated and people will have the factual information about these cases so that we can keep Aspen Jeter's name out there and Royalty Cooper's name out there until they are found. Hey, Here for the Truth. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. Thank you, little G. Thank you. Roger, you're from South Carolina too. Oh, you're from Anderson? Well, I'm from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So we're going to get into this case. And Michelle, if you want to, I can talk about royalty first. I don't really have a lot on royalty because there's not a lot out there. So I can go ahead and get that out of the way if you would prefer me to do that, Michelle. And then you can come up on panel and then we can commence to talk about Aspen. I just want to highlight where we left off last week when we were talking about the 600 missing kids in Virginia. When I was going through, I had a video. If you guys have not already watched that video, there is a video I put out about the missing kids in Virginia and how there are 33 missing kids under the age of 13 since July of this year. And that's a scary statistic. Where are all these kids going? And just to put it into perspective, there are 39 million people plus in California. That's the population. And there are about 615 missing children on the NCMEC's website for that state. Now, in Virginia, there's about 8.6 million people in the population, and there is 600 missing kids in Virginia. And I want to actually do a meme with my face with the mathematician lady that has all the different geometry and trigonometry equations because that math doesn't make sense to me, y'all. And I hate math for that reason. So, yeah, a lot of people haven't heard about royalty. And so we're going to get into that really quickly. I'm going to jump over here. Let me turn off my camera. I'm going to pull up some information on royalty so that you guys can take a look at this very strange case that I came upon when I went to the NCMEC website. And I was going over these 33 cases, and like I said, that video is on my YouTube channel. You guys can go back and watch those 33 missing kids under the age of 13. There is actually a 2-year-old that is missing out of Norfolk, Virginia. And her name is Royalty Cooper. And we're going to pull that up and take a look at it right now. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to pop over here. Hey, Crystal Bowling, thank you so much for being here. Mods, if you'll please drop Michelle's YouTube link. Y'all, please go over and sub up to Behind the Crimes with Michelle Sutton. She is talking about a lot of different cases, and she is covering Aspen Jeter's case, and I would be really grateful if you guys would go over there and sub up to her channel. She seems like an amazing creator, and we always like to collab when we're small channels and work together because our goal is to help bring these kids home. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen here. Let's go over and check out this poster. Here is the NCMEC website, and you guys can see here that is the National Center for the Missing and Exploited Children, and this is basically like a large data facility where law enforcement can report via computer when they have a missing child, and it automatically goes into this huge database and it's facilitated out. So this poster was actually put out October the 9th, 2022. You can see here Royalty Cooper does not even have a photo that is submitted by the investigating agency, which is devastating to me. It's devastating. And of these 33 kids under age 13, I bet 5 didn't have photos. It was very disheartening. So many of these kids that are going missing do not even have photos submitted, y'all. I mean, make this make sense. Norfolk, Virginia, we have a 2-year-old black female. She has brown hair and brown eyes. She is 3 feet tall and weighs 30 pounds. And as you can see here, Royalty was last seen on October the 9th of 2022 in the company of Kashawn Cooper, her mother's ex-boyfriend, who is not her father. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Royalty was last seen on 10/9/2022 in the company of Kashawn Cooper, her mother's ex-boyfriend, who is not her father. She was last seen wearing a black shirt, tie-dye pants, and hair in pigtails. Don't hesitate. If you have seen Royalty Cooper, which we haven't because we don't have a picture, Norfolk Police Department, you can call them at 757-664-7000, which I have, to complain that I need a picture of Royalty Cooper and I want to know why is there a missing 2-year-old that is missing in the custody of a non-parental unit, and you haven't even put this on your website? You haven't shared this case on Facebook? Why aren't any news stations covering this story, guys? Dutchie got questions. Dutchie got questions. I have Googled, and I've actually done a video on this same video that I did last week. It's an upload that I premiered. In the middle of this video, we have break time with Dutch. And that's when Dutch goes to Google and starts Googling to see if any news stations have talked about this missing child. And there is nothing. In fact, let's take a look at this. I'm going to show you guys right now what we're dealing with. Let's look up just Royalty Cooper. Missing Virginia. Okay, so do you guys see the articles that have come up? Because the first article is in regards to a man who was missing. This guy right here, Michael Cooper, age 54. And they did find someone. And it's near the vicinity of where this child went missing, but it's not her. None of these cases right here that you see the images of, last time I looked, I can't make it make sense to me. There's Michael Cooper, Virginia Collier, the Henrico body, that was Michael Cooper. Nothing, guys. Explain that to me. I can't. I can't explain it to y'all because it doesn't make any sense to me. But this is very, very concerning. Nico, I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you so very much for your donation. I really, really appreciate that. It means the world to me. There was no Amber Alert, Michelle. There was no alert, period. And, they can use a silver alert, or law enforcement has the ability to take the federal protocols and then they can amend them as they see fit based on the case. Summer Wells went missing and she was not found to be abducted, yet she got an Amber Alert. You know how? The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation said so. That's all it takes. It's literally that easy. All they have to do is say, we need to put out an Amber Alert. It's really that easy. That's why I ask my moderators to please share the Amber Alert petition, which is where we are asking the federal Amber Alert system to be reevaluated so that it includes more children that may have disabilities or that may be autistic, that may be missing under suspicious circumstances, but may not qualify for a standard Amber Alert. And there's also the Serenity Alert, which has, by the way, guys, over 337,000 signatures as of yesterday. And the Serenity Alert is for Serenity McKinney, and she went missing and still has not been found. And it is for children who go missing under suspicious circumstances, but were not abducted. And she still has not been found. And they feel like if there had been some type of alert put out to say, this young child has gone missing and we need help. It's very important. It's very important. These alerts are critical. Hey, Sleuth Mom, thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad to see you. It is heartbreaking, Nana. Very much so. Hey, Levi, thank you so much for coming over. So glad to see you. Hey, Whistle While You Alert, thank you for being here. Yeah, I know, Crystal. So I want to challenge any of you creators out there, which I know y'all were slammed because I'm slammed right now. I got cases up to my eyeballs. So please, if you happen to see any information about Royalty Cooper in Norfolk, Virginia, please do a video. Please tag me. Please just send it to me. Whatever it takes, like just whatever. I would be so grateful because I'm worried about this kid. Like, I don't know how this just goes missed. And I think that is the biggest concern that I have is we are focusing in on trying to help these kids. We're making posters. And then I'm like, listen, no child left behind. I mean, I could make a poster with no picture, but then people are going to think I'm crazy because they're like, what do you want us to see, Dutch? There's no picture. So I encourage any of my subscribers or people that are listening, like, maybe you can't go out there and make videos. Maybe you don't have a YouTube channel, but maybe you have Facebook. Maybe you have Instagram. Maybe you're on Twitter. Maybe you have some time that you can pick up the telephone and call Norfolk Police Department and say, hey, I heard on a live stream that there was a 2-year-old missing out of Norfolk named Royalty Cooper, and we need a picture. Do you have an update on this case? And just see what kind of response you get. You might be surprised. Every little thing like that, it counts, guys. You are the teamwork that makes the dream work. If you guys weren't here supporting me right now, all 28 eyes of you, we wouldn't be able to make this thing happen. So like, go look, check out these petitions. You know, the way that we make this work is to get active in our communities. I was sharing missing posters, making missing posters, and volunteering on my community watch long before I had a YouTube channel. This was just something that I was doing in my community. I've, searched for Brittany Drexel. I know Heather Elvis's parents. I can't tell you how some of these cases that are local to me have really affected me. So when something happens in my state, I want to actively try to do whatever I can to help find these missing adults and missing kids. Because there's a lot of dangerous things going on in the world today. And it's just not as simple as they just walked off and didn't come back. It's not like that anymore. These aren't the times that we live in. We have to look out for one another. We have to educate our children on how to take care of themselves, how to know when to call for help, how to know how to protect themselves from being abducted, kidnapped, how to look for the signs, how to stay away from strangers. Talk to your children. Talk to, if you have elderly people in your neighborhood, check in on them. Victims come in all ages, and they're everywhere, just like criminals. That's why it's important to be active in your community. Oh, Serenity was found. That's right. That's right. But you do know that is why Serenity's alert is so important. Thank you for reminding me of that, Sleuth. I have got so many cases in my head right now. I need to do a file 13 on my head and on my computer probably. She was. I can't even keep these cases straight, y'all. I think I'm gonna have to go on a mental health break again. I just had one, so that means I can only work 2 days a week. We do not know the mother's name, Crystal. It only mentions the boyfriend's name. And I did look him up, and I did find a few names that were not him. And the person that I did find, he was very young, and I didn't really find a lot of information on him. So, still investigating, still researching. And when I find out some information, you can be sure that I will let you know. That's probably what it is, Sleuth. I probably am mixing up all the things. I've got all this Aspen stuff on the top of my brain, and everything else has kind of sank to the bottom right now. Yeah, if you're not subbed to my Facebook page or Twitter, please go do that, because I share a lot of cases over there, and some cases I don't get to always talk about, but I do share them in my Discord, and I try to share out as many cases as I can on my Facebook and my Twitter page. Because I just want to make sure I can get every flyer possible that I can in front of somebody, and I share as many as I can on my community wall. Y'all probably get overbounded by all the stuff that I post on there. Hey, Sugar Magnolia, thank you for being here. So I just want to challenge you guys. If you do know anything about this Royalty Cooper, please reach out and just let me know, because I'm just praying for this child. Because where's the mother? Like, something just seems really funny with that. And so that's how we got started talking about, these 600 missing kids in Virginia. Where are all these kids going? I know I've had people say, Dutch, I don't know why you cover all these runaways. They ran away because they wanted to. That's what I had somebody tell me one time. And I said, you know why? Because maybe you don't know what they're running away from. Have you ever thought about that? Because I know what people run away from. I'm a DV survivor. So kids get abused. You have no idea what these kids are running away from, or what they're living with, what they're going through at school, what kind of mental health challenges they have. That's why we always share the 1-800-RUNAWAY link and phone number. Because if you are a teenager out there listening to any of these live streams and you need help, you need to reach out to someone because you don't feel safe and you have nowhere to go. Or if you're out there on the street and you need to get a bus ticket back home, call 1-800-RUNAWAY. There are 24/7 people there that are there to advocate for you. It's totally confidential, and they can even help you get a bus ticket to get back home safely if that's what you want to do. But if you need to get somewhere safe, if you need to get to a shelter, if you need some money to eat, if you need clothes, 1-800-RUNAWAY can help you. So don't forget that. So for anyone that's a runaway, I always say that on my live streams, and have my mods to share that, because you never know what kids are really running away from. So let's all be mindful and pray for kids that are running away also. You just don't actually know why people do the things that they do. So, we want to give grace. We always want to give grace and show respect. So, yeah, that's what I said, Crystal. And the other guy that I found, he seemed like he was too. I have a lot of questions. But we're going to get back into that. So, Michelle, if you would like to come up on panel, I think I did send you a link. If you would like to come up, we can talk about Aspen Jeter. I want to go over and share Aspen's poster that I've made a few posters, guys. Made a few posters. So let's all welcome Behind the Crimes Michelle Sutton on panel. Guys, if you could, moderators, please drop her link. If you guys will please go over and sub up to Michelle, I would really be grateful if you would do that. Thank you so very much. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not as soft-spoken as you. I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, she's so soothing. And
no. Well, I have had people say, well, Dutchie, I fell asleep when you were talking the other night, but I went back and watched. And I was like, I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
Yeah, I'm definitely, I mean, it's a Southern thing.
It is.
And I'm very so.
But thank you so much for coming up. So what do you think about this Royalty Cooper case? I just have to ask because it's I'm starting to see more cases that don't have pictures. And I just want to know from one creator to another, how does that make you feel?
I am speechless on this. And then when, you were showing it, of course, my mind is just as ADHD, if not worse. So I was over here on Facebook, and there's nothing even when you search that child's name. So there's some major issues somewhere.
When I went on Facebook that day, which is in my video, and you can go back and look at that video in the break with Dutch, I went on Facebook and there was one page that had shared something about royalty. And I think her name was Harley Yaya Moon something. It was a long name. That was the only page on Facebook that had shared anything about Royalty Cooper, period.
So
nothing on Google.
Why is a mother not
I got questions. It just doesn't make any sense. They have the same last name, but she says, and it says that that's not her father. I'm like, don't y'all think that's odd that there's somebody that has a 2-year-old, but it's not the father, and y'all don't think an alert is imperative? Do y'all not think this kid could be in danger? Where is this kid?
Well, obviously this child is in danger if they've been missing since the 9th of October.
I just discovered it like happenstance, looking into 600 kids missing in a state with only 8 million people. I still haven't wrapped my head around that. I have family in California, and there's 39 million plus people in California, and they have less missing kids than Virginia.
And I find
I can't do that kind of math.
Mind blowing, because every time I turn around, there's another case in the same area as others that we have searched. And I'm like,
now, if you Google it, it does say that Alaska has the most missing people. But I just want to clarify that it is not missing kids. It's actually missing adults. There's only 11 missing kids in Alaska. But there's
and they're probably
missing people. Somewhere. Most of the people that are missing are adults. They're not kids. There's only 11 missing kids in Alaska. So it's not a missing kids situation. It's just a general missing that makes it so high. It's a hot spot, Jaded, right? Yeah.
I don't, when I say this, I don't want people to take me in the wrong way. I understand there not being coverage or as much coverage on the adults that are missing. But when it comes to children, there should be no excuses. There should be no questions asked, even if it's a situation where they don't need to be in that home anymore. When you find them, remove them from that home.
Yeah.
And give them a chance at a life.
I think Virginia has issues. With CPS, I see that there's a lot of foster kids that are running away. I think that there's a lot of problems with the CPS system, things they must have going on with foster care there. Plus, it's really close to Washington, D.C., Virginia is.
That is
And
true.
you have the ocean. It's kind of like here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. This is the #1 human trafficking area in the state of South Carolina is Myrtle Beach. People go missing here all the time.
I mean, for the most part, we don't hear a whole lot, like hardly ever in my area. So I'm thankful for that. But my kids are very aware that it could happen. They're no exception to the rules.
Right. So, I mean, it's just, it's very interesting. And so that was what, we were looking at. Because I know here in South Carolina, we have 77 missing kids. And I think North Carolina has 87 missing kids. And then Virginia has 600. Like, you see how that doesn't even like.
That doesn't even make sense considering that.
I'm like,
together.
Okay, but you have a big intersection. You've got 95 going up through there. You've got the coast. But I'm like, we have all that too. We have trafficking too. Like, there's something that's happening. If there's either trafficking, drugs, crime. I mean, there's a whole host of issues, that kids have working against them these days. And that's why it's so important for runaways to know that if you need help, if you're in a situation where, you need to get away or you need help, like there is a way out if you're not.
But then you have these children who possibly couldn't have ran away.
Exactly. Then you have young kids.
What's the reason for there not being attraction on them? Why are certain and when I started my channel, I started it during the Kylie Rodney case, and I was dedicated and was like, I'm not giving up, and I've focused. And then at one point I was like, wait, there's just too many other cases that need the attention. So that's when I said, you know what, I can't focus all of my time and energy onto Kylie. So in memory of Kylie, I'm going to continue to help these other children who don't have a voice either.
Right. That's good. That's what we've got to do, because a lot of times the law enforcement, whether people believe this or not, I know people say, oh, well, you're doing this and you're inserting yourself in the investigation. Whether you guys realize it or not, law enforcement actually depends a lot on us. I have family in law enforcement. I have friends in law enforcement. They'll tell you they're underpaid and overworked, and they don't have people in the department to work for missing cases, especially down south. So social media and people covering cases and making posters and finding out information and calling them to let them know what they know. If we know something that they don't know, they actually appreciate that stuff. Because I've had to call on cases locally a lot of times, and the officers are always very kind to me, because they know that I would not be calling them if I didn't need to tell them. But I did call Orangeburg County Sheriff's Department yesterday to tell them that I was very disappointed that they did not have this little girl's face on their website or on Facebook. And I said, whatever happens in this case that we're getting ready to talk about, you could at least do that. And I noticed that it took them all the way until this afternoon.
Yeah. I seen when you posted that, hey, I comment, which I have plans to call them in the morning, because we are, let's see, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We're already 4 days, and there's no information to even help.
I love you, Jaden. Yeah. So this case is, it is a crazy case, and I'm going to go over here and share my screen so we can take a look at this flyer. Here we've got Aspen's flyer right here. I've had to make this flyer, I don't know, probably 5 times now because I just have to keep adding stuff to it. I felt like it was imperative that we put Aspen's mother and father on this flyer. I don't know that everybody agrees, but I think it's very important to know that her mother was found deceased at this residence on November 24th, which was Thanksgiving Day, guys. There was there was a welfare check that was called to the 200 block of Louise Drive in Orangeburg, South Carolina, Thanksgiving Day. And it was also noted that Aspen's mother, Crystal Jumper, had not been seen since November the 1st. Now, I have not vetted for certain exactly who it was that saw her last and why it has been 24 days before anyone has laid eyes on Crystal Jumper or her daughter. That remains to be seen, and I'm sure that will come out eventually, because I just find that for so many family members to be involved, to not know where somebody is for 24 days seems.
I know you've talked to the one that but I have talked to
Yes, I've talked to a couple of friends,
and they did verify that it was nothing unusual, that it was quite often that she would drift off. So between everyone, someone, I guess, they weren't calling each other, because that wasn't the relationship everyone had with each other.
Right.
So it wasn't out
and
of
that was the
norm.
impression that I think I got too from Antar and Anton, which I finally did find out that it is Antar Antonio Jeter. Antonio was his full name. Just went somewhere else. Here we go. Let me get back on the big one. That is Aspen's father, and he is actually from West Columbia, South Carolina.
Mhm.
And according to his sister, Candace Jeter, he is also missing.
And the friends.
He is also missing.
And what little family Crystal does have verified that as well, that he's also missing.
Yes, and I did see that the sister said she was going to file a missing report on him, and that Aspen may be with him, but it is unknown at this time. So I think it is very imperative that we circulate this information. Now, we don't know any information about Crystal Jumper's cause of death. We just know that she was found deceased at her residence, and we will be waiting on law enforcement to perform an autopsy and give a press conference to give us more information about that. They have that evidence. So we don't have to worry that law enforcement isn't going to handle this appropriately. They are going to find out exactly what transpired that led to this situation. However, the one piece of evidence that's missing is Aspen Jeter. And that's why we're here today, is to share this missing poster and to make sure that we can get this shared out. Now, let me go over here. It's not sharing my screen. Let me go over here. Can you guys see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Over here? Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. So, this case is, we kind of have to wait for things to unfold. Investigations are not something that happens immediate. Sometimes if there's lots of evidence, you might could close a case in a few weeks, but sometimes it doesn't always happen that way, as we've seen in the Monkey Vaughn case and in the Quentin Simon case. So, we want to be respectful to the Jumper family. We want to be respectful to the Jeter family, because we do not know all the details that are involved. But rest assured, it will come to light. I know there has been some very interesting articles
Did you see my message about this?
About this particular article? Yeah, I thought this was very interesting because
I sent you a message about it. If you didn't,
yeah, I saw that I guess somebody said this article was fake.
The family verified it. I did reach out, and they, after I sent it to them, they did go on a few of the groups and clarify this. They don't even know who the supposed cousin is.
Wow. That's bizarre.
Now,
yeah, because when I read this, I was like, what cousin?
There are a couple of channels, news articles that did speak with the brother, to Crystal's brother, and he gave the information he was allowed to give. There was none of this information.
I'm surprised he hasn't had the article taken down if it's not true.
I'm sure it's in the works at this point.
Very interesting, guys. Very interesting. So we will have to see.
Because I shared it. I was like sharing it, and I was like,
I
shared I verified it. I was like, delete.
But look here. Look what I pull up Aspen Jeter today, guys. Look how many news stations have covered this baby. I am so
But it's
thrilled.
still so little information. Still, so I mean, it's the same thing.
It's
Just
a long
each
shot,
of them
but
have
we're
it
getting
worded. They all have it worded differently, but it's all the same. And then, and what's sad is that the family and the friends don't even have anything that they can help with. Like,
I feel really terrible that this whole situation has transpired, and I pray that it was nothing, that foul play was not involved. I pray for that. Now we don't know any information, but that's why we're waiting for law enforcement to give us that information, because they have the evidence. But what they don't have is Aspen Jeter, and we need to find this missing 5-year-old immediately, guys. She could be in danger. And we need to find her father, Antonio Jeter. If you can share out the flyer, it is on my Twitter, it is on Facebook, it is on every Aspen Jeter group. You can find it on my community wall. I'm certain that Michelle's probably shared it on her community wall and on her Facebook. Guys, please, please, please share this out. Now, I will say that it was very interesting. They did say they had this welfare call, in which I do see was to the Louise Drive. Now, I was told that Polly Jumper, which is the brother, I guess, of Crystal, he says that it was her home, but I didn't have her listed as having a home in Orangeburg. I thought that was interesting. I have the home listed in his name. Did they live together? Do you know? Oh, did you fall down? Are you there? Did you fall down?
Yeah. So I'm gonna turn my camera off because my computer.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna cut mine off too, because it makes it so much easier when I'm getting around to all these streams. But I thought that was very interesting that Polly Jumper, the brother, also lived at Louise Drive, but I didn't find that Crystal had a residence on Louise Drive. I have that he did. And I wanted to know if you knew anything about that.
I did not look into the brother, because when I saw the brother's picture, and I told the friends that I've been speaking to, I thought that it was her uncle, because I know both parents are deceased. So I thought it was her uncle, not Aspen's uncle, not realizing it was Crystal's brother. And I was thinking, well, he's too old to look into him. And so I might need to do that then.
See, this is the information that gets me, that the family, I think, is worried about people like us putting out misinformation. And here you have a news article that's blatantly saying Crystal Jumper was found dead laying on her bed with a gunshot wound at her home. And I'm like, how do you know that? The police have not even put that information out. And that's what I find very interesting, is that they put this in the same article where they speak to Polly Jumper, Aspen's uncle. So did Polly Jumper tell them that? Because that's what I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time getting.
So I did realize today in one of the groups, I don't remember which one it is, because I'm in 3 of the Aspen groups.
Me too.
I'm actually someone is working on another group for her that will be ran by my channel, where it won't be a discussion group. It will be because they blocked him from one of the channels. And I was like, that's the one person that you probably need in here.
Yes.
So
I would really like to be able to speak with him. You know, if I
I
would like to
did
be able
reach
to
out
speak
to
with
him.
anybody for the family, because listen, I'm an advocate, and you know, we want people to be respectful to the family. I just want them to realize that it's not us that's putting out the information. I'm simply just asking questions, because here you have a news station that's putting out these articles. This is WIS News. I mean, this is a local news station in South Carolina, saying that this young woman was found shot in her home.
So
Now,
when
do we know how that gunshot occurred? No, because that's why we're waiting on the autopsy. That's why I deal in facts, because I don't like the hearsay, because we don't really know. But that makes me think that somebody had to tell them some information that they felt like they could vet in order for them to put that out. So I have questions.
but then the other article says that the body was so decomposed. Doesn't say anything about a gunshot.
Isn't that interesting?
So
Sounds like they got
that's
some
why
links. Some links in it.
I was going to call the sheriff's department,
I
but
think
they are
it's
the
a good
first
idea.
sheriff's department that I've ever seen that closes at 5 o'clock.
Hey, blessings to all. I'm so glad to see you. I hope you're doing better. I've been thinking of you.
So I will be
Hey,
calling
Tom,
in the
Tom, thank you
morning.
for being here.
Definitely will be calling in the morning and asking,
Okay,
hey,
good. Well, let me know how that goes, because I have been, you know, I've called them, but it's not to interfere. It's to ask important questions like, why aren't you sharing this child's case? So when I saw it on Facebook today, my husband came and got me, and he said, look, your phone call. And I said, it wasn't just me. I said, there's a lot of active people in these groups that are upset that people are not doing more. But listen, let's be honest here. Uh, we have a situation where you have Crystal Anderson missing not 20 minutes down the road. That's an adult where she was taken out of her house by an ex-boyfriend and stuffed in the trunk of her car in front of her children. And now the boyfriend's in jail and they still haven't found her. These are the types of places where sometimes it takes a lot to get people to do something. And it's a shame to have to say that. And that's why, you know, I still share her poster, because there are a lot of people missing from Lexington, South Carolina, all the way down into Orangeburg, all the way to Columbia. And they're just some of these departments are not equipped, and they just don't, you know, if you've got information, that's what they're waiting on. They're waiting on people to come to them with reason why they need to investigate further. And um, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, because many of us in this very room have either lost a child or have had someone in our family to go missing. And that's why we do the things that we do. We advocate for people who are going through these things to try to make it easier for them, because it wasn't easy for us. So
it is, it's a sad reality. And it's almost like we lived so long with our blinders on.
yeah. So please go over and share this missing flyer. There is a lot of great flyers that are being circulated right now about Aspen. I encourage you to go over and please. And if you have a missing person and you need a flyer made, feel free to reach out. I had someone on Facebook today that's in one of our groups reach out to me to make a flyer for a missing man in Florida who has dementia. And I was happy to do it. And it's free. So if you ever have somebody that needs a poster made, please just reach out to me. You can
And
reach
I
out to me.
someone local, because I did ask the friends that I'm in contact with, were there any missing flyers posted? And no, there is not around town or anything. And
See,
a
that
lot.
is bizarre.
So I have someone who is wanting to make a flyer of Aspen, but then we don't have enough information like height,
This-
weight, you know. Those are things that we should be able to add to a missing persons flyer, but that information has not been given.
Not even on the police website. They
No.
did not give any specific information, and you would think that they would be the ones to have the information. I mean, if her family is wanting to find this child, you would think they would come forward and give as much information as possible. It is very imperative, guys, that we find Antonio Jeter. West Columbia, South Carolina is his last known place that he was living. But I did get a message that was very interesting, and I just have to put this out there because if we're looking for Antar, we want to be looking in the right place. And someone asked me, had I heard that Antar was actually staying at Crystal's place with her and Aspen? And I said no. I had not heard any details, and I would need to have that information verified.
So I
Um,
did ask when I seen this. I had seen that someone said that that he was living there. So I did ask, and the response was they cannot confirm or deny at this time. So maybe that's a question for the sister. I mean,
it would
she
be
did.
really good to be able to speak with Candace Jeter. Candace, if you're out there listening, we're here to support. We're not here to tear Antar down or your family or Crystal's family. We're here to be supportive because who is important is Aspen. Aspen is the most critical piece to why we are all gathered here today, because we want this young baby to be able to come home safely. She, guys, she is nonverbal. She is 5 years old. She's a 5-year-old female, and she was born with a type of genetic um, disability where she has limited mobility from the hips down, and she cannot walk. So we're talking about a child that in the state of South Carolina, if the county chooses to not extend the amber alert, they could have put out a silver alert because she is a child with disabilities.
Exactly.
And yet they have not done any of that. And I've lived here for most of my life. My parents have had a second home here since I was a young child. And I'm almost 50 years old. So I'm not wet behind the ears. I know a few things. I've been around. I've covered multiple cases locally. I've dealt with law enforcement locally. I have friends that live in my neighborhood that are law enforcement. If I have questions, I just go and ask the actual people who I know will tell me this is what you need to do. This is why we do this. This is how we handle this. So that's how I get my information. I just go to the source. I don't like to just go to Google. Like, I like to actually ask people who are in law enforcement locally that work for the state of South Carolina. And I know that they have the ability to do that, but they don't always do that. And it's very tricky to me because I just feel like you have a 5-year-old child. Like, what's there to question? But then again, I'm a mother. And I get emotional about this. And like, I'm just going to put out alerts for all of these young babies because to me, that's the right thing to do. They're helpless. They don't even have a voice, so, and I know you feel the same way, Michelle, and I really appreciate you taking the time to come up and, is there any other information that you want to speak on about this case that's really just moved you in a way that you want to share with us?
So, I did just look back at the background check,
Yeah, I've pulled those too.
and I see what you're saying because under Antar's associates,
Mm-hmm.
Crystal's brother is listed at that address or on that street.
Yeah. Did you pull Polly?
I haven't, but he's listed as an associate on
Yeah, I
Antar,
know. Mm-hmm. He
which
sure
is
is.
really weird.
Yeah, I have all of it. It is. It's all very weird, and I just,
I didn't
I
catch.
think that's why people have as the questions that they do, and I don't think the family understands that it's really not that people are trying to be out here in these groups, putting things out. Like we don't want to put
Yeah,
any bad things out into the air that we don't know that's happened, which is why we don't want to speculate. We want to speak on facts, but we also want to keep an open mind. The fact that we don't know the circumstances still leaves that window of we have to consider all things. So we have to stay open-minded about this case, guys, because law enforcement has not spoke about this case, and we do not know the circumstances of how Crystal passed away for certain. So I just ask that you guys please continue to respect the Jumper family and the Jeter family at this time, because it will come out. The law enforcement will give a press conference. I'm sure of it, and hopefully that will be sooner than later, because it is. I just feel like it's just to get that information and find Antar Jeter to make sure that he's okay. Because I'm under the impression that there may have been a they may have Crystal and Antar may have had a relationship that wasn't always solid, and there may have been some problems that they had in the past, and we want to give this case some room to breathe and let investigators do their job, but we also want to stay on top of finding this child. If you are local to Orangeburg, South Carolina, or Lexington, South Carolina, Columbia, if you live in any of these areas, Wagner, South Carolina, if you're Colleton County, Hampton, any of those areas out there, and you can get out there to post some posters or make some calls, share some things, please do it. Please, we encourage you. You guys are the reason that these things can be so successful, because you put those posters in front of people that might not ever see them, and they might know some information. Somebody may have seen Antar somewhere. Hey, Arctic Fox, how are you doing? Thank you so much for being here.
Well,
And Arctic Fox has done a great job. He immediately puts out information every time I have a case. He immediately makes a video, and I want to thank you, Arctic, for all the work that you're doing for these missing kids. Thank you so much.
yeah, I get a lot of I check in with Arctic Fox quite a bit too, just to see what cases are. But this one just snagged my heart, and I don't know if it's because I had thank God, my autistic child, ABA therapy and the IEPs that helped tremendously. Will he ever be able to live on his own? Probably not, but he can do the basic necessities on his own now. So I guess that's why this one, I'm thinking, what if my child had been nonverbal and couldn't have walked and this is a child who, and I say this all the time, I'm giving a voice to the voiceless, but this is literally this is a literal situation where this child has no voice and
That's
cannot
right.
for their child, for their self.
Absolutely. And yes, it is Antar Moni. I know it is an unusual name, but it's Antar Antonio Jeter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, hey, Yanni, I'm so glad to see you.
It's I know that there have been tips given. So why haven't they put out the information that she could possibly be with her father? Why have they not put out that he's possibly missing as well? That's where, I mean, potentially 2 lives could be in danger.
That's right. That's right. And I worry about his mental health just from that one post that I saw Candace make about, you know, and it was a very odd post that she
Very
made.
odd.
Just, she basically in this run on sentence said, I don't know where my brother is. I haven't talked to him, but he's not a suspect in this case. And he has Aspen, or he may have Aspen. I don't know. I haven't spoke to him. And I thought that is a lot to say in one sentence. He has Aspen, but then she takes it back and says he may have Aspen. And then she also says he is not a suspect in what happened with Crystal. And I'm like, if you don't know where he is and you haven't spoke to him, are you certain about that? Because that's for law enforcement to decide once they, do the autopsy and because Antar needs to come forward. If there's nothing to hide, Antar should just come forward and say, I don't have the child or I do have the child. Because honesty is just the best policy. If you have nothing to hide, then just it is what it is. Casey K says, could Ellie already have an idea where they may be, or has it been said why she's not reported missing? No, when I called, they did not have an answer for me. In fact, the lady was very short with me. And I just went off on a little short.
If this is your child, just settle for that answer is what I would have been like.
I was like, this is not acceptable, period. And you need to get out something immediately because the internet is going crazy and we're just going to continue making videos until you do something about it. It's just not a good look.
Well, Cara, I am calling in the morning. I tried to call this afternoon to verify the news release that was put out. And they were closed. They were closed. So I could not. Yes. I've never seen a sheriff's office close.
Is his car missing as well? That is a very good question because I have an address. I have a couple of addresses for Antar, and I'm hoping that LE is coordinating with West Columbia Police Department or Richland County Sheriff's Department, somebody. I mean, surely they have already coordinated to go out there and be searching for him at his house.
Why didn't the sister at this point, when she knows that Crystal's been found deceased and Aspen is missing, why didn't she call for a welfare check to his address? It's one phone call. Can you please do welfare check?
I would have just gotten my vehicle and I'd have showed up at his house and be like, what are you doing? What are you up to?
Right.
You don't answer the phone, I'm coming over there because I need to know if she, you just don't want to, you don't want to be like, well, I got to give them their space, or what if he's having a mental health crisis? We talk about that here on this channel. If you're having a mental health crisis, if you need to speak out, don't be afraid to reach out. We have mental health hotlines. We share the 988 link. We share all of those links here in chat because you just never know when you're going to be discussing a topic that somebody may feel that somebody's going to come into chat and they're having a situation. You always want to be able to have those resources to give out to people. And you've got to know how to help your family. You can't just say, well, if he needs me, he'll call, but we don't know the dynamics. We don't know all the family dynamics. So we really don't want to, look too far into that, but it does in just general normal family dynamics. You would think that if someone has a kid with a disability and you have that many family members, that someone is going to know where that person is in 24 days. If I haven't heard from my sister, my mother, my father, my nieces, nephews, my son in 24 days, I'm going to be at their house. There's going to be a problem.
And for me, like, I'm a very closed off person, but I have people that I speak to daily. So, I mean, obviously, my kids or my husband, but if it was a different circumstance, my kids were not, were like hers, Aspen wouldn't have been able to make a phone call, but it definitely would be. I couldn't go missing. There's no way they would let somebody know.
They'd send me back.
Well, they'd probably send me back too.
We don't want you. They took me. Moni, I am so glad that you came here, and you are always welcome here. And thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, the mods are fantastic. Moderators, I love you so much, and I thank you for all that you do. Hey, crimes have consequences. I'm so glad you joined us. Yes, I know you're late per usual, but that's okay. I'll give you a pass this time, girl. Well, hey, Jason. How are you? It's nice to see you. Jason is my chat guy. He comes and hangs out in the chat with all the ladies. He keeps the ladies company. Y'all say hey to Jason.
I have one of those fellas too. Actually, I'm really surprised he's not in here, Lisa. Aren't you? So a couple.
We're doing good, Jason. I'm so glad that you came by.
I know a few of my folks came. The majority of everybody is over on Squirrels on Fire.
Yes, you would, Yanni. You'd have a whole lot of natives looking for you. And me. I'd be out looking for you. I'd be making posters out there, boots on the ground.
I know. And I wished my kids were, old enough that I could do more boots on the ground. And I did ask, that was another question I did ask. It was one of the first ones. Is there a search and rescue being held? And there is not. Because who's to say she's not in those woods? There's lots of water around there.
Precisely.
Why is there not a search? Why is there not search efforts? I have locals that were like, hey, let me go volunteer. And I'm like, well, I don't know what you're going to go volunteer for.
Yeah. And the police will hopefully address that at the press conference. I mean, that is about, let me see how far that is for me. I'm going to have to map it. To Orangeburg, South Carolina, from where I'm at. Two hours and 47 minutes. So it's 152 miles for me. But if I have to drive 152 miles, I've driven further. I've driven to Tennessee for summer wells. So I'll do whatever it takes.
Summer wells.
If I have to get out there and, if they have a search going on, I'll come and search. I've got gear. I'm ready. I'm a country girl. I've got my hiking boots. I'm ready to go.
Shoot, I'll go in my heels. I don't care. Like, because because if it was my child, I would want anybody and everybody. And that's where, like, I guess that's why, like, I'm so frustrated with these missing children. I mean, the royalty one, like, what in the world? Why is there no family, especially the mother, speaking out?
How do you let your 2-year-old go with your ex-boyfriend, but there's no alert? Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it on Facebook, and they've been missing since October the 9th. Make that make sense.
See, Monty's one of those that would go and volunteer. She's only 40 minutes away. it just.
So it's, I really appreciate you coming up and talking about this. I don't know if there's anything else that we haven't touched on about this case. There's really not a lot to go on right now. We just know that we need to find this little girl, and we know that we need to find this father. So one more time, we're going to take a look at this poster. And I want to see if I can get in. This is Antonio Jeter. Can you guys see that? I kind of enlarged it. And I've got some other pictures that I want to share of Aspen, and I think he's in a couple of those pictures too. So if you see this flyer on my Facebook, on my Twitter, please follow me over there on both of those social media platforms, and you can see all the other cases that I'm covering. And I also do a series called Carolina Cold Cases, where we talk about cold cases that for people that are missing or who have been murdered and the person has not been found. So we do that on weeks when we're slow. We talk about Carolina cold cases. So if you guys are into cold cases and things like that, please make sure that you're subbed up to that. And I want to look at some of these beautiful pictures of this baby. Let me get over here and pull some of these up. She's just the most precious little kid.
I know, my daughter has curls like that. And
I mean, she's just so beautiful. Okay, let's see here. All right, I'm going to. There's a picture of her. Can you guys see that?
And see, I did ask, that was something else, because at 5, they should, by law, be in school, especially with her condition. But she just turned 5 last month. So I don't have the birth date, but I do know it was last month that she turned 5.
Yes, Jason. I believe she may be autistic. She's nonverbal, and she was born with a genetic condition where she doesn't have very good mobility from her hips down, and she cannot walk. There's not a lot of information that they've even given us. I had to call Orangeburg County Sheriff's Department and complain to them yesterday that they haven't even shared that this kid was missing on their website or Facebook, and I chewed them out. And then it took them all the way until lunchtime today to post that this child was missing. And I was like, here's a flyer. Maybe you should share it at the sheriff's department.
Right.
Because, I mean, sometimes you just gotta facilitate all things. Hey, Fizzle, thank you for being here. Good to see you. I'm so glad that you came by. We're talking about missing Aspen Jeter in the state.
Face of America. I only live 20 minutes from Orangeburg and have never heard about this until now.
Face of America channel. If you could please subscribe to me on Facebook, if one of the mods can drop my link. If you happen to be on Facebook or Twitter, would you please go share this baby's missing poster out for me? I would be so grateful. This is what the poster looks like right here. Oh, Jason, you're such a sweet guy. Thank you for being here. Jason says it kind of hits home with me. She's a pretty baby, isn't she? These children are too good to have to go through stuff like this. That's why my heart breaks for Quentin Simon and for Talem Berry. That's another case that I'm going to be covering this week. I'm going to have
Been into
Autumn, Talem Berry's mother, on panel.
Oh, I would love to speak with her on.
Yes, maybe if you would like to join me, that would be great. I would love that. I would love that very much, Michelle.
Yes, I would love to speak with her. Somebody sent it to me last night, and I gave what little bit of information I had. Did not realize that child had been missing that long.
Thank
And
you, Face of America. Thank you so very much. I really, really appreciate you. It means the world to me. I am at Dutch for Missing on Twitter. Thank you, Crimes, for dropping my Twitter link. Thank you so much. If you will follow me, I will follow you back. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. It's so important. This is so important, guys. And y'all keep Crystal's family in your prayers, please, because we don't really know the circumstances. We have one news article saying that Crystal was killed with a shotgun. We have another article saying that she was found decomposed on the couch. We don't know where this information has come from. The family is not happy that this information is out there because Crystal's autopsy is not complete, and the family has asked. In fact, I do have a.
Monty, I will keep you updated, honey. I'm calling in the morning. Like, I have questions.
Let me see if I can find this little screenshot that. Oh, phooey. What did I do with it? And by the way, y'all, today's my wedding anniversary.
I already told you happy anniversary, but happy
Yes,
anniversary.
you did. Yes, you did. Me and the hubby been hanging out today, just doing married things. You know.
How many years?
We've been married for 5 years. We've been together for 10 years. It's our second marriage each. So, but he's my soulmate. I love him so much.
Yep, that's the way it is with my husband. We'll be married 5 years in April. And
where is this thing that I'm looking for?
It's my knight shining armor.
So, this is what Stephen Jumper said in one of the Facebook groups after he saw these news articles that were saying all of this information, because the police department has not given a press conference to solidify the facts of any of this. What her cause of death is, or what they believe happened. That we just know that she was found deceased. So he posted, there has been no autopsy report released. We do not have confirmation that she was murdered. The news channels are running with info that we as a family do not know where they are getting it from. Our number one concern is the safety and return of Aspen. Once we know, we will release the information. Thank you for understanding, Stephen Jumper and his wife, Katie. So,
what did you say? Never mind, it's right there. Dutch for the missing. Sorry. I'm not good at Twitter. I follow everybody.
Listen, I am winging everything. I wing Discord. Listen, I locked Michelle Macklin out of 3 rooms one time, and today we had to fix it because she was like, I can't post in the sports room. Is it because I'm a University of Tennessee fan?
Oh my God.
And I was like, I'm a Georgia fan. I'm a Georgia fan. My dogs are 12-0. I was like, of course not. So I just figured out on the fly. I'm just one of those, I just learn as I go type people. So that's how we do.
I have someone running not my Twitter, just because I follow everybody. That's where I get some of my information. But I might comment here and there.
I just try to listen. I don't get into all the spaces and like all of the deep conversations, and I don't tweet everything I eat and all of that craziness. Like I'm not like that. Like I just share cases. And thank you, Amethyst Nile. I appreciate that so much. I had a good day. It was a good day. It was 70 degrees today at the beach, and I went to Home Depot and bought a ceiling fan. That was like my highlight of my day. No, it was more than that, but that we'll just say that that was the highlight.
But
You're
I do.
barely hanging on Twitter, Sugar Magnolia.
I
Twitter gets wild. It does for sure. It sure does. You're not a University of Kentucky fan, Jason. Not you. Well, dogs on top. That's all I got to say, Jason. Go Georgia. Right, Fizzle? 12-0, baby. Well, is
Did
there anything else that y'all want to share? I can share some more pictures of Aspen. If you want me to do that, I just need to get back over here to my Discord so I can pull up all these different pictures. There she is right there. She's such a sweet baby.
Yeah, that was the one that the best friend shared.
Yeah.
I grabbed those two when she said that we could use them.
She's such a precious kid. Look at that face. There is the dad with Aspen. You been Cyber Monday shopping, Nico? Did you buy me anything?
I was supposed to be Cyber Monday shopping, and I got so far down this rabbit hole that it didn't happen.
Yeah, same. I wanted to go buy one of those all-in-one computers for my art room because I'm also a painter. That's what I do, and I have a fluid art studio. That's where I'm at right now, setting up my live stream room / art room. And I really need a better computer. And I was like, I'm going to do that today. No, that didn't happen. She is so cute, Face. She is. Definitely. Amethyst Noir, thank you. Yes, mods. We have excellent mods over here. And I appreciate everyone in the chat being so respectful and kind. Like, I don't think my mods had to time one person out. Like, y'all are so amazing. Like, it's so nice when we can just have a conversation about a case and not have to deal with the trolls and all of the crazy.
Amen.
Like, it's, because we're not here to bring any disrespect. We're not here to, patrol the streets like some creators do when they go and harass people. Like, that's not what we do. You do fluid art too, Nico? We're going to have to do a live together where we do fluid art together. You'll have to come on panel and get your canvas ready because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do some fluid art lives. Do you like art, Michelle? I do fluid art, so I'm thinking about doing some art on my channel too. I'm going to have a live auction here in the next couple of weeks to hopefully get rid of some of these paintings that I got because it's just too much.
I like art. I'm just not an artist.
Well, you can like art and not be an artist. This is a lot of my art on the walls behind me.
I did see that.
So I've got to get rid of some of it because my husband says you can't paint on these other canvases until you get rid of some of it. So I'm like, well, that's what I'm going to do. It would be fun, Nico. We need to do that. Yeah, Jason, I know you come on panel because I saw you on panel on Jimbo Thunderhawks one night. Or was that Dougie Doug's? Which is it, Jason? Go ahead and tell me in the chat. I'll wait.
Crimes have consequences. So my mods, and this is, I was
crimes.
I was very, very, very lucky when I got the mods that I received. I only started my channel end of August, September, and it was not long ago that I started my channel. I think it was September. And my first live, I had no mods. And when Rob, we call him our mod father.
Mod father. I love that.
He sent me an email and he was like, if you need help, I'm here. And then the next live, I only had him and we had like 400 people watching and it was chaos.
Oh
and
my gosh.
that's when we all met Megan Cole. And so I was like, I just picked somebody randomly that had been there and been commenting on comments. I mean, commenting on videos that I had pre-recorded. And I was like, okay, you're becoming a mod. And then
Unfortunate. I had a team that was ready to go. So this is Michelle Sutton, and she has a channel, which I think they have dropped in the chat. Did you guys?
A few of them. Yeah. Because I shared it in our
She
Facebook.
is with Behind the Crimes with Michelle Sutton. She has a YouTube channel, and you've got over 3.5 thousand followers, right?
Yes.
Yes. But that is incredible. That's wonderful.
I got shadow banned, so I've not had any. I've lost subscribers.
You got shadow banned?
Yeah. Well, you see, sometimes they don't like it when you tell the truth. And I grew really fast. Like in a 2-week span, I had hit my monetization. So,
wow.
And I don't monetize my videos. I leave just the super chats available, but I don't do the ads on my videos. So, I mean, and we can give thanks to, what's his name? Morbid Reality. He gave me some of that fame. Just saying.
I'm subbed to his channel. Y'all sub up to Morbid Reality. I'm subbed up to him too. He makes me laugh.
Not me. He hit me hard.
Did he really? I haven't watched his channel in a long time, but thank you.
He did. He hit me very hard to where I had to give him a warning that if he put one more thing up about me, or because what he was saying about me was just, I had to.
That's terrible. Then I'm gonna have to unsub from him now.
Well, I haven't seen him live lately, but my dog, my support dog, bit the next door neighbor's kids, and so they took my dog. The county took my dog, and she's still alive. I'm fighting to get her back, and it's taken everything we have. But he went on a 3-hour rant about me being a dog killer, and while I'm already down. Gosh. And then he decided another video to live stream me while I had my child. I wasn't looking at the camera because I was driving. So I wasn't looking at the camera. It was on a stand, not even close enough to me. And she had poked her head, because I don't allow them on the camera. She poked her head around, and he was streaming that video. So that video got privated, and I've reported him. And they were like, well, we need timestamps. And I'm like, it's the whole dang video. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
The whole video.
Yeah.
Well, he did get me some subscribers. So thanks, Morbid.
Well, we've all been through the YouTube crazy. Trust me.
Oh
you're
my
not
God.
the only one.
I did not know that there was, and I don't do the drama. Like, I don't. My chat is very much like your chat. Like, it's a tight-knit group, and where we've been shadow banned. Like, we went, like, literally for the last 2 weeks, have not had, like, not even close to 100 people watching, and we're used to having 300 to 400 watching. So it's a very.
We don't want to sub up to Morbid anymore, because obviously he's not a good guy. So I don't even know why he's there. We've all sometimes had to realize about people. Sometimes we thought people were bad, but they ended up being good, and people that we thought were good ended up being bad. And we just sometimes
I did go on a tangent. Normally, I don't do the talk about other channels. Normally, I don't do that. It's just not me. Like I'm quick
either. We don't do that ish over here. That unless I have to address something, I will make it like it's an address stream. But otherwise, we just talk about cases. We don't do the drama stuff.
I know that you are putting out bold-faced lies. I'm going to call you out.
Yeah, absolutely. And Crime says she's praying you get your dog back. What do you need to get your support dog back? I'm an animal rescue. You can reach out to Crimes.
Yeah.
Crimes is in my she's in my Discord,
my
but
email.
if you've got your email, if you will just email me on Facebook what your email is, and I'll send it to Crimes, and she'll reach out to you.
I'm
'Cause
dropping
she's a
it
moderator for me, so or Crimes, if you want to drop an email, I mean, it's up to you. You're a moderator.
right now. Animal control.
decide.
Animal
I
control.
hope you get your dog back, because I had a support dog, and he just passed away, and I miss him so much. And now I have a dog that she just needs all the attention. She's a Doberman, and she's rotten.
I know. I seen her in the beginning of the video. Yeah, mine's a boxer, and
Yeah. She's a cutie.
They took her from me.
Yeah, Crime said she'll help in any way that she can. Crimes, you're the best, baby. I love you.
I dropped my email, so if you want to reach out,
Thank you, Jason.
it's been very, very rough, and animal control will not answer my phone calls. This is the second appeal, my last appeal, and she's
I'm
nothing.
really sorry. I am so sorry.
So
well, hopefully it'll get better. Hopefully it'll get better. We will keep you in our prayers, and you know how to reach out to me on Facebook. So Crimes just posted her email. There it is. You can email her there.
I dropped mine too. And so it's just one of those things where I'm just praying that, I mean, even if I can't get her back, and that's what I told them, even if you won't let me have my dog back, please let me find her a home where I know somebody will love her as much as I love her. And they still told me no. And then I was supposed to get the option to build a fence, a $3,000, $5,000. Oh, it's the camera. See, this is why I need a new computer.
Yeah, I know my camera does that too. It lags sometimes.
Hey, Lisa, will you?
Magnolia's praying for you.
Actually, I can copy it.
Jason, I bet that baby's a big baby.
Oh, she's pitiful. She's pitiful because I got to house her at my vet for the first appeal. I'm so sorry. And they banned me from going to see her. And then when I lost the first appeal, they went and took her. They went and confiscated her from the vet's office. My vet has been able to get in touch with animal control, but it's like they know that my number is showing up, Michelle Sutton, and they will not answer that phone. So I told them,
we're going to keep you in our prayers. I'll put some prayer hands in the chat for Miss Michelle Sutton and her support dog, because she needs to be able to get her dog back, y'all. We're thinking of you, Michelle. Thank you so much for coming up on panel and talking about Aspen. And hopefully we can, we'll have more to talk about, and we can get together again and talk about it. But if you're interested in coming up and talking with Talem's mother, Autumn, get with me this week. We're probably going to do it on Thursday.
When I just would love to just hear her story, just because, again, there's not a lot of information. But at least this mother is speaking out. I mean, at least she is speaking out. Right. And thank God to channels where it can't turn into a crap show.
Exactly.
I don't know how some of these creators get in touch with these people and just convince them.
I bet so. They took her dog because her dog bit somebody. Crimes
have consequences. We will chat in an email. I will message you tomorrow.
She'll tell you all about it.
Can give you any information that you need. I did reach out to rescue places here, local ones, and none of them responded.
That's good to know, Amethyst. Well, I'm going to not have to sub to him anymore. It's just how it is, sir. So,
don't ask for money on your channel, because if you ask for money, he's coming after you. If you ask for money, he's coming after you. And I was like, I wasn't even monetized at the time, dude.
Oh my Lord.
I was Zav.
Crazy.
I was Zav Girl 2.0. That's my nickname. The dog was not
Raider.
She was playing. She was in my house one time and in my front yard the other.
Crimes.
It
You
was
are so funny. You don't want to mess with Crimes. Crimes, she is a hot mess, y'all. When she comes into Discord, she'll come flying in there and she'll be like, "Let me tell you what I saw today." Da 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 da. And I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a day. Crimes is on fire already.
I
So
can't.
she's
We
straight
are
no
working on
chaser
a Discord.
2.0.
We are working on a Discord, but we have yet to figure out how to even make a folder in that thing. So it's still
Oh,
just.
girl, if you need any help in Discord, let me know. I've got mods, you can tell her. We've got the whole Discord conglomerate over in
Well,
Dutchess Discussions. And we have members there, people who are members of the channel. They can come over there and they can decide if they want to ever come on panel and discuss cases. I have some of my members have become moderators. They are in my research chat where they help me research cases. I have people that share stuff out on social media. We have cases for each one of the kids or adults that we're covering. We cover people who are wanted, we have an Amber Alert chat. So if you ever need any help, Mamita, she is an expert for real. Mamita Alicia, she has a mental health channel where they talk about all the things, mental health,
and
addiction,
um,
just anything where people need to have support. She is an expert at Discord. So if you need any assistance, just let me know and I'll hook you up with those people, or I'm happy to help.
Kristen, are you still in here? She's been awfully quiet in the chat, but I know because she texted me that she was watching. She's my life coach. That's what we call her, my life coach. She's our expert. We call her the expert witness because
The expert witness. That's a good name.
But she is the one that. Oh, we got to get you out of that being too shy.
I know. Crimes is not shy. She comes flying into Discord and she don't mind speaking her piece. So I don't think it's that. She just hasn't ever been on panel. But once you get on there, it's just like being on a Discord call. When you're talking on Discord, it's just like a Discord call, really.
My first live
with a whole bunch of people on it.
My first live, I was nervous, but I was only expecting like 20 people, if that. Doggone it, if my first live didn't have 100 and some people, close to 200, and I was so nervous. And then everybody's like, "Don't leave, stay." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll be back tomorrow."
You don't have any idea how to get back on your Discord, sugar?
I'm on one Discord, and then we're working on a separate Discord for my channel.
You got Crimes email in the chat. Email Crimes or email me at duchessforthemissing@gmail.com, and I'll try to help you, Crimes, and see if we can figure it out.
She said, never been on panel. Have a bad
she does
mouth.
have a sassy mouth, but I do too. I can get sassy.
I can too.
I can get sassy, and I cuss a little when I get irritated.
But I cuss a little.
It's just a Southern country thing, I reckon.
It is.
Don't pay me no never mind. It's just
it's
my attitude adjustment. I'm old. I'm almost 50, so it's just an attitude adjustment thing I need to do. Have to mind my P's and Q's, but then sometimes I get my emotions.
And I'm an Aries too.
Thank you, Crown, for dropping my email.
So when you're an Aries and a Southerner, you don't know
what's
Dutchess
sassy. That's me. Yes, Jason, I'm sassy. You want to come? Don't ever say, if I invite you on panel, Jason, in the future, you better come up, because you can't say I don't do panels, because I seen you over there on Dougie Doug's and I heard you talking. So,
ooh, you busted.
I'm just saying.
You have to join me one night.
You do cuss a lot. Crimes cusses a whole lot, but you know what? I still love you. It is a Southern thing. It really is. Bless your heart and kiss my ass.
You guys will have to join us one night for a members only chat.
Thank you. Thank you, Jason.
And we'll have to have Dutchie up on panel one night for.
Yes, I would love that.
For members only.
And
So the way I
That
do
would
it
be
is
so
like
fun.
we have one night a week for members only where we just unwind. We
Oh,
don't.
that's so cool. See, I want to start doing some members only, but I just haven't like figured out what I really want to do. So I
I
think I'm
think
going to do all my art stuff members only and stuff like that to start out with, and then we'll just see where it goes from there. I don't know.
yeah, we just do a shut down, don't talk cases, get to know each other, just play around, play games, and just relax, take our mind off because you get so endowed in these
That's a
cases.
good idea.
So much
Chat, what
out.
do y'all think about that? Members, what do y'all think about that for all you members that are in here? To just have a chat where we can just, it's just all of us and we can just chill and just, you know, be ourselves.
Yep, and that's where you
I say that
have
sassy.
no filter, and that's usually what we call it, no filter night. And whatever is discussed is discussed. And we have some discussions. We had karaoke night.
Discussions
Yeah,
are good. It would be awesome. See, Michelle's a member.
Yeah.
Sugar says I cuss a lot. She turned 50 in September. I think it's the pushing 50 thing for me. It must be the hormones, the age. I'm getting old and fussy. That's what it is. I'm getting old. I'm getting sassy. So,
And if you make me cry, get away as fast as you can. If you make me cry, get away as fast as you can. Run.
if I cry, it's because I'm mad. And so
That's what I'm saying. You better run.
either you've really hurt my feelings or I'm mad. And if I get mad, it's not good. It never turns out good. And it takes a lot to get me
Crystal, I'm
mad.
in
So
North
if you ever
Carolina.
get me mad, I would run if I was you. That's just
Mhm.
how I am. But I try I've toned down in my old age. I've aged like fine wine. I like to tell myself that.
Well, I can say that too because
Whether it's true or not, I don't know.
10 years ago, ooh, Lord, I was a pistol. See, they
I'm
call
still a
you
pistol.
sassy and they call me feisty. So,
I'm still feisty.
are
I
you a
am still
Libra?
feisty. I am a Capricorn.
Ooh,
I am stubborn.
she does look great for 50. When she popped up on camera earlier, I was like, what? I wasn't expecting. I was like, dang,
Y'all
girl.
I got a kid that's getting ready to be 29. Can you believe that? I feel like an old grandma.
Well, my
Guys
oldest one's
age like milk. Oh, that's not good.
Oh,
Jason, you
no.
must be just a baby. I think
My
you said you were 44.
Huh?
Thank you, Face. That is so kind of you. I really do have wrinkles, though, and it's because I have a 28-year-old. And it's from doing this. You did what?
Migraine.
This whole thing right here. I got to have plastic surgery now from all them facial expressions that he made me have. That you did what? I got to do who? What?
Don't
I got
need
to, how much money?
Botox.
Yeah. I'm so glad he's grown.
Mine,
I've had Botox and it just doesn't work for me. I need to get.
Try Dysport.
I don't know.
Try Dysport.
Something.
If Botox didn't
Oh,
work, try
crimes! You're so sweet.
Dysport.
See, I told you. Look, Jason, I have ADHD and OCD, but I still remember that you were 44, sir.
Huh?
Yes. See, up Kara's 45 and a Scorpio.
I will be 40, and I'm an Aries.
You have 3 grandkids. I told my son he could not make me a grandmother, and I'm almost 50.
So my oldest is 19.
No,
almost
I can't. I'm not ready.
And he's in the Army.
Oh,
and I told him straight up, you make me a grandma before I am 45, and you'll regret it. And then today he called and informed me he had dropped his packet to join Special Forces. And I'm like, I think it's a great idea. But that was not what we discussed when you left yesterday.
As long as he's doing what makes him happy. as long as he's doing what makes him happy.
Right now, he's going through his
Because,
first.
our kids sometimes they got to make their own decisions when they're adults. And if mine asks me for my opinion, I'll give it to him. But otherwise, I just have to let him live his life because he's not living with me. He's an adult.
That's what I told mine.
He can
He kept
adult
saying
himself.
he was
I
getting
would
out.
be the best Mimo, y'all. I would spoil my kids so much. Oh my gosh, I would be the best Mimo. I would.
Nope.
I would.
Not me. I don't.
But
I
my
don't
kid says he don't know if he wants to have kids because he says the world is a scary place. So he don't want to have kids. So I guess I'll just have to get another dog.
Mine is in a hurry to have a family, but I think that's so he can get out of the barracks. But like he's been since he joined, I'm not signing again. I'm not signing again. And then he calls today and says,
"See, Crimes, that's it. You have grandpups. It's what it is."
No, I would not be a good grandma.
And an Aquarius.
I don't want no grandkids. And I will not be the grandma that wants her grandkids.
Now, my sister's 41. I mean, I kind of like my peaceful life the way it is. He says he don't know if he'll ever have kids, but my sister has got a 20-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. And I pray for her daily because I'm going to pray for her daily. I'll be at the funny farm. And she's in her 40s. And I'm like, I don't know what you was thinking, but not me. No. No, God know that I only had patience for one child. That was it.
Well, I used to pray for patience because I had none. I couldn't even stand in a grocery store line.
I bet you are a good nana.
And so I used to pray for patience. God gave me 3 boys, said, there's your patience. Then he gave me a girl years later.
And then that's when he was like, well, now we're going to real test your patience. Because really, boys are not that bad. It's the girls.
No, I got to disagree.
It's the girls. My sister got 1 boy and 3 girls. And
I have to disagree. My boys have always been
a lot of work. But they're sweet, y'all. They're sweet. They call me on the phone. I love you. I love you. I said, I love you too, Aunt Dutchie. They're sweet. I love them so much. I send them gifts and stuff all the time. I miss them.
I love my boys.
Well, thank you so much for coming on panel.
Thank you. I am going to
I'm so glad that you came up. And I hope that we can get together again soon. And I'll let you know when we're going to do the live on Talem. I've got to get up with Autumn. And to find out what day and time is going to be best for her. I'm going to shoot for Thursday or Friday. I've just got to get up with her and find out. But I'll be around this week. So if you find out any information or need to chat, just contact me. Guys, if you're not subbed up to Michelle, please go make sure that you are subbed up to her channel at Behind the Crimes with Michelle Sutton. Please go sub up to her channel, mods, if you can drop her link. We are going to close out this live chat tonight because it's 11 o'clock and it's my wedding anniversary and I need to go spend the rest of the evening with my husband.
We get your point.
So, well, he might already be in the bed, y'all. I mean, who knows? He has to work tomorrow. And, it is 11 o'clock. He might have already gone to bed. We spent all day together. We had a great day. Basically, we did nothing. We were just old people laying around watching TV, doing chore stuff around the house. That's old people stuff. That's pretty much what we did.
Hey.
Walk on the beach. We did go out and walk. That's about it. So, but I hope that y'all have a very great week, and I will look forward to seeing you guys for the next live stream. Make sure that you stay tuned to my community wall, and you will see. And Michelle, if we get together, then we will coordinate that, and we'll put it out and let all of you subs know when we're going to be live again next time together. So, but thank you guys for all being here, and I will look forward to seeing you next time. Michelle,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And
I'll see you
later. Let you know how my phone call goes.
Absolutely. And we will talk. Yes. Yeah. And so we will see you next week then. And we'll probably talk this week sometime. So
yeah, because I'm going to let you know how my phone call goes with the sheriff's department.
Yeah, please do. Please call me and let me know. So I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to finish up here, and we'll talk tomorrow then.
All right, you
Okay,
guys.
take care.
I'll see y'all later. Night.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, y'all. So that was all the cases that we have. We talked about Aspen Jeter, and we talked a little bit about Royalty Cooper. If you guys find anything out about Royalty Cooper, please let me know. Thank you, Crystal, so very much. See you, Jason. Take care. We're just going to close it out here, and I really appreciate all of you tuning in. And please don't forget to go over and share Aspen's flyer. If you see the flyer that I made for her, I really appreciate it. And don't forget to hit that like button on your way out. And don't forget to share my video if you're able to do that. I would really, really be grateful. And thank you, moderators, for being here to show your support and drop the links. And Jason, thank you for being here to be supportive. Our chat guy. I hope everyone has a wonderful night, and I cannot wait to see you guys later on this week. So take care, and I'll see you guys soon. All right. Bye.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing. So cold, behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will,